Please be aware that these videos are for WSG members only. All of these exercises follow British Gymnastics guidelines, but please be extremely careful whilst participating. These videos are not compulsory, but we really do hope you enjoy them.
Hello everybody, can you guess who I'm dressed up as today? Well, she wears a long red cloak and she has a hood. I'm Little Red Riding Hood. Today we're going to be reading the story of Little Red Riding Hood and seeing what adventures she goes on. But first we need to find a few things to help us. For today's adventure you will need 4 pieces of paper or tissue paper, a dressing gown cord or a skipping rope, 2 pillows and 3 teddies. We are going to set our items into a small obstacle course like I have here in this picture. Ask your grown-up or brothers and sisters to help you. Place your 4 pieces of paper in a row with some space between them. These are going to be our stepping stones. Next, place your dressing gown cord or skipping rope in a straight line. This is going to be your rickety bridge across the water. Place your pillows in a line. These are going to be logs on the forest ground. Lastly, place your teddies in a line with some space between them. We are going to pretend that they are long grass. Now that we have set out our forest, it's time to start the story. Little Red Riding Hood. A long time ago, there lived a sweet little girl who was thoughtful and kind and loved to visit her grandmother. Her grandmother enjoyed the visit so much that she gave the little girl a special present. Can you see that the grandmother is sitting in a rocking chair? Let's see if we can do 5 rock and rolls together. Sitting in your tuck shape, hold on tight to your knees and try rocking backwards and forwards. She sewed the girl a wool cape with a hood. It was the girl's favourite colour, a wonderful cherry red. Can you pretend to put your red cape on? One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother said, "Your grandmother isn't feeling well." "I'll go visit her," said Little Red Riding Hood, "and I'll take a picnic." "What a good idea," said Little Red Riding Hood's mother, "and be sure to stay on the path through the woods." Little Red Riding Hood promised that she would, and she packed a basket with her grandmother's favourite foods and set off. Now it's time to go through the woods. We're going to jump on our stepping stones. Off we go. Next we need to cross the wobbly bridge across the river. Arms out to the side. Next we're going to jump on and off our log. So feet go out and in. Ready? Next we're going to do bunny hops through the long grass. Little Red Riding Hood skipped down the long winding path as she always did on her visits, and she was very careful to always stay on the path. After a while, she met a wolf. We're going to be a sneaky wolf, so we need to put our hands down and hop from side to side 5 times. Can you hop on each foot from side to side? Remember to keep your arms super strong. "Hello," said the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood knew she shouldn't talk to the wolf, but he seemed friendly. "Hello," she said. "Where are you going on this fine day, little girl?" asked the wolf. "I'm going to visit my grandmother," said Little Red Riding Hood. "She isn't feeling well, so I'm bringing her this picnic with her favourite foods." "And where does your grandmother live?" asked the wolf. "At the end of this path." A sly grin came over the wolf's face. He knew that if he ran up the hill, he'd get to the grandmother's house before Little Red Riding Hood. "I'll gobble up the old lady and the little girl," he thought, smacking his lips, "and I'll gobble up that tasty picnic too."
We're going to be the greedy wolf smacking his lips. So arms out in front. Ready? And the other side. One more time.
"Look at all the pretty flowers growing in the woods," said the crafty wolf. "Why don't you go and pick some for your grandmother? Pretty flowers will make her feel even better." "Good idea," said Little Red Riding Hood. The prettiest flowers were far from the path, but Little Red Riding Hood thought it would be all right to leave the path just this once. When she turned to pick some flowers, the wolf ran straight to the grandmother's house.
Let's go and pick the flowers for grandmother. We're going to hop through the long grass. We're going to egg roll over the logs. We're going to walk backwards across the bridge and pick our flowers on the way. Let's jump backwards across the stepping stones.
The door was unlocked, so the wolf opened it and quietly crept inside. He tiptoed into the grandmother's bedroom and found her asleep in bed.
Let's tiptoe round the house like the naughty wolf. Off we go.
Suddenly, she woke up. When she saw the wolf, she screamed. "Help, help!" cried Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother. The wolf grabbed her, pushed her into the closet and locked the door. "Be quiet," he said, "or I'll gobble you up now instead of later." The wolf quickly put on a nightgown and a cap. He hopped into bed and pulled the covers right up to his hairy chin. At that moment, Little Red Riding Hood knocked on the front door. "Grandmother," she called. "Come in, my dear," said the wolf with a high voice. Little Red Riding Hood went into the bedroom. She stared at her grandmother lying in bed. Her grandmother looked very strange, and Little Red Riding Hood was afraid. "Grandmother, what big ears you have," said Little Red Riding Hood. "The better to hear you with, my dear," said the wolf. "Can you show me your big wolf ears like this?" "Grandmother, what big eyes you have," said Little Red Riding Hood. "The better to see you with, my dear," said the wolf. "Can you show me your big wolf eyes?" "Grandmother, what big hands you have," said Little Red Riding Hood. "The better to hug you with, my dear." "Can you show me your big wolf hands and give yourself a nice big cuddle?" "Grandmother, what big teeth you have," said Little Red Riding Hood. "The better to eat you with," cried the wolf. "Show me those grisly wolf teeth." Little Red Riding Hood screamed. This was not her grandmother, it was the wolf. Suddenly the wolf sprang out of bed. He tried to grab Little Red Riding Hood, but she leapt away, light as a leaf in her cherry red cape. The wolf grabbed the air instead. With a yelp, the wolf tumbled out of the window and rolled head over heels down the hill. He was never seen again.
Can you try 2 egg rolls like you're rolling down the hill like Mr. Wolf?
Kneeling down, crouch over and hold onto your knees. Roll onto your back, squeezing your knees together. Keep rolling until you finish back on your knees. Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother pounded on the closet door. Little Red Riding Hood let her out and they hugged as tightly as they could. "Thank goodness that's over with," said her grandmother. "What happened?" "Mother said you were sick," said Little Red Riding Hood, "so I bought you a picnic lunch, but I left the path to pick flowers." "Well, I think you've learnt your lesson," said her grandmother. "I'm just glad we're both safe." Then Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother sat down and enjoyed their visit together. It was the best one they'd ever had. And they lived happily ever after.
What a great adventure we've had today. Find your certificate in the comments below and remember to stick around for the dance. I'll see you next time.
Today, we're going to go through the second part of the dance in slow motion. Start with 4 marches forwards and then make a rainbow with your arms. Then we do 4 marches backwards and repeat our rainbow with our arms. Next, we pretend to go to sleep one way and the other way. Then we do a nice big jump up to the ceiling and land crouched down. Fantastic! Let's try it all together with the music. Great work, everyone! Keep practicing. Remember to send your posters to support our NHS and key workers, and we will stick them up on the window at gym. We'll see you next time.